around it.
Good evening, everyone. I welcome you all to the STEM webinar conducted by SAR Education. I would like to extend my warm welcome to Ms. Shalini Kapoor, who will be conducting the STEM webinar. An experienced educator having taught all age groups ranging from pre-nursery to grade 8 in the three prominent boards of education, that is CBSE, ICSE, and IGCSE. Ms. Shalini is a science educator who believes in learning content experientially. Her passion for science and learning is something she wishes to pass on to the learner. So, Ms. Shalini, I welcome you. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Ayushi, for that welcome. And it's my turn now to say good afternoon and a very warm welcome to all of you educators who have joined here, I'm sure after a long and hectic day at school. So my deepest appreciation and thanks a lot again for being able to join over here, my gratitude. I'll just take a second to share my screen, allow me. Just give me a second, please. Right. So today we are over here in this webinar to understand how to seamlessly integrate STEM processes, STEM projects in our classrooms. And before we begin, obviously we all are aware that STEM stands for an acronym, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. However, it is not just an acronym, it's actually an integration of these subjects to be able to reach solutions. So today, I'll be your facilitator, taking you forward on this journey on how to integrate STEM in your classroom with the students of classes K to 2. Well, before I begin, there's a very interesting question that I think I would like to know the answer to. STEM and shopping. How many of you over here, we have so many wonderful educators here. So how many of you enjoy shopping? Can you do a virtual hand raise, Miss Ayushi? Can you share the number of hands being raised? I'm sure there will be many people raising their hands for enjoying shopping. Yes, and the gentleman over here can answer on behalf of the lady of their life. Do you enjoy shopping? That's the question. Well, how is STEM and shopping related? Such unrelated terms, right? And when we say we want to go shopping, I'm sure all families say, why shopping? You keep shopping all the time. Well, I'll just take you on a little journey about shopping. So when we decide to go for shopping, what is the first thing that we do? We plan, right? We plan, we make a list, we draw out a list of the things that we need to buy, whether it is consumables, whether it is durable goods, whether it is products of daily needs. But yes, there is a data that we think about what is the requirement, how much quantity is required, and based on that, a list is drawn. So right now, when you're drawing out a list of what is
Uh,
to be
Miss
shopped
Shalini,
next.
sorry to
Yes,
cut you.
ma'am.
Your screen is not visible.
Oh, is it?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, the
Is it?
screen is not visible. Can you reshare the thing again?
Okay,
Stop
just a
share and
second.
can you share it again?
Sure. Is it visible now?
Now is it?
No,
Yes, now it is visible.
it is.
Yes.
Just let me know if you are able to see the second slide. I'll just go here. Is it visible,
Now the second
Ayushi?
slide. Yes, ma'am.
Thank
Now,
you
now
so
you can raise your question again if you want to.
again. All right, sure. So, how many of you enjoy shopping? That was my question. So, if you can answer that. So I'm sure everybody, most of the ladies, I would say enjoy shopping. Yes, that's definitely an activity that we like to do. And the gentlemen can answer for the ladies of their life. And shopping involves STEM and how it when you're making out a list based on your requirements, when you're thinking of quantities that you're going to be shopping, what quality products are you going to be shopping, whether it's a durable good related to your house, or it's a consumable, or even if it's a daily needs product that you are going to purchase, drawing the list is actually an activity where science is involved. Then, in order to draw the list, what would you have used? Maybe an app where the list can be made, or maybe a simple pen and paper. When you are using any of these tools, you are actually using technology. However, where is the engineering in shopping? So, when you go to the supermarket, or even when you're going to the local milk shop, you are looking at a structure which has been engineered, right? The shop itself is a product of engineering. The shopping cart that you are using, the display shelves that are there, they are all products of engineering. Sorry. However, when you buy materials and you make something from those materials at home, let's say you went to the shop and you purchase some flour, eggs, baking powder, those kind of things, and you come home and you create a cake. That's also engineering. You've engineered a new dish. So you've got engineering involved with your shopping too. And the last one, M, math. Well, shopping is all about numbers. We are talking of prices, we are talking of budgets, we are talking of quantities. These are all numbers, isn't it? And we are talking of the thing that we love the most in shopping, the discounts. So math comes into play. So whether we think about it actively or not, STEM is a part of our day-to-day life. Even a small child who's enjoying his time in this summer in a splash pool is taking part in a STEM process without thinking about it. When the child decides to splash water, how is he going to splash water? That's the science of it. The way he's going to put his hand down on the water, whether it will be vertical, whether it will be horizontal, that is the technology and engineering part of it. How many times will he splash the water? That is the math part of it. So STEM is part of our day-to-day lives, and we don't even realize it. So today, we are just going to discuss on how to make this very important part of our life a part of our classroom and the children's life too. So let's see what STEM is all about. It's S for science, T for technology, E for engineering, and M for mathematics. We know that, right? But what is STEM not? STEM is not a new subject. It is something that we are taking part in throughout our life. And it is not just integrating science, technology, engineering, mathematics. It's beyond that. It's also creative. So what is STEM about? It's design learning. It's a collaborative problem-solving process. There is a collaboration between different skills. It's a deep disciplinary knowledge of science, technology, and maths which is involved. And there is critical and creative thinking, working in collaboration and giving us the solution. And STEM is not about preparing lessons. So that is one thing that as educators, we need to worry less about. Okay, so we are going to begin with the presentation now. This is just a reminder slide that at the maybe at about 15 minutes from now, 20 minutes from now at max, we will be doing a short activity. A list of material was provided to you earlier. This is only a reminder for you to keep the material ready and handy so that you can enjoy the activity too. And just a small reminder, teachers, there will be a short quiz at the end of this presentation. So please be attentive throughout. I know you had a very long day, but be attentive, stay with me, and you'll be able to answer the quiz easily because hints and answers to the quiz will be provided in the presentation throughout. So now I'm going to be sharing a video with you. Just give me a second. And I would like you to watch this. And Ms. Ayushi, please tell me if you are able to hear the video now.
Ma'am, not as of now. Have you played it?
STEM.
Yes, ma'am.
Like, yes. Are you able to hear this, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
It's one of the most talked about topics in education. But what exactly is STEM? STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, but it's more than that. STEM has grown to represent a unique approach to teaching and learning, one that centers around individual students' learning styles and interests. This means STEM education has something to offer every student. Unlike traditional education experiences in which subject areas are concentrated on separately, STEM education emphasizes technology and integrates subjects in ways that connect disciplines and relate them to each other. So why is STEM getting so much attention? STEM moves beyond simple test performance and focuses on developing higher-level thinking skills by connecting classroom learning to the real world. STEM emphasizes collaboration, communication, research, problem-solving, critical thinking, and creativity, skills that students need to be successful in today's world regardless of specific interests or career goals. STEM is a direct response to the realization that our future will be built on our capacity for innovation, invention, and creative problem solving. Unfortunately, the United States is falling behind internationally, ranked 17th in science and 25th in mathematics among industrialized nations. It will become more and more difficult to remain competitive in the global economy. However, as a result of STEM implementation over the last decade, the number of 4th grade students performing at or above basic levels in math has grown almost 30%. The evidence is out there, and it points to STEM education being a vital part in the future of the American education system and our ability to effectively train future global innovators and world leaders.
So although this video spoke about the US education system, the Indian government and governments across the world are paying equal attention to the development of STEM skills. In fact, today only there was a news in the paper about the Australian government introducing a bigger amount of budget so that STEM can be introduced in a very rigorous manner in their education system. Which brings me to my next slide. Edgar Dale was a very famous and a very well-reputed educationist, and he studied the impact of different teaching methods on the retention of knowledge in learners. And the findings of his research, he has collated in the form of a learning pyramid. It is also called as Edgar Dale's cone of experience. So what did Edgar Dale find out? He found that if students were made to only sit and listen passively in the class, the amount of retention of knowledge was a mere 5%. However, if audiovisual aids were introduced, the amount of retention of knowledge increased to 20%. If the teacher decided to demonstrate the concepts being taught, the retention rose to 30%. However, if the children were allowed to do and learn the concept by doing, then the retention of knowledge increased drastically to a 75%. And yes, if the students were allowed to become teachers, if they were allowed to take part in teaching activities like peer teaching and group teaching, the amount of retention of knowledge was tremendous. It was at a phenomenal 90%. So this is one basis of the reason why STEM projects must be introduced in school. STEM projects and their need is also backed by the multisensory approach to learning. As educators and as per data, we all are aware that different students learn in different ways. Uh, there are some children who will learn visually. There are some who will learn by hearing. Some will some will learn kinesthetically, and some are tactile learners. So therefore, when we introduce STEM in our classes, when we allow children to take care of different material, they're actually using different senses. And so the learning is very nice, and the level of retention of knowledge is enhanced to a great deal. This is something, if they have done an experiment, if they have learned something by doing, it's what our goal is. Now, why should we teach STEM? Why should we introduce STEM in our classes? The reason is very simple, because STEM processes lay emphasis on 21st century skills. And the 21st century skills are also known as the 4Cs. STEM is meant to engage all the learners and develop their 4Cs. What are the 4Cs? Critical thinking, communication, creativity, and collaboration. Critical thinking is the analysis of an issue. It is the inference of a data, analyzing how to overcome a challenge, and these are skills that will help in problem solving for all students. Communication, the skill cannot be underestimated at all, because communication is something that we as humans use all the time, right? From the time that we were little babies, to the time that we are in school, communicating our needs, to the time that we are in the work world, to the time that we are in the family, communication is something which is so important. And when children participate in STEM projects, what do they learn? They learn how to present their own experiments, their own solutions in different manners. It could be PPTs for the senior children. It could be just a resource discussion in the junior classes. So communication skills are greatly enhanced when children participate in STEM process. Now, the third C is creativity. Now, creativity is not just about art and craft. It's not just about creating beautiful things. Creativity is also the creative management of time. It is also the planning of a project. Creativity is also involved in planning how to use different materials to complete a particular project. So creativity is enhanced when STEM projects are part of the daily life of the student. It also encourages the children to think out of the box and create from the collective imagination of the whole group. Collaboration, that's the 4C, but not the least. It's equally important, because as humans and as adults, we all know how important it is to work in teams, whether it's our family, whether it's the work world, wherever. Collaboration is something which is very important. And in a school day, typically, we know that children do not get enough opportunities to collaborate. STEM offers them maximum opportunities for collaboration and team working, and thus their collaboration skills are enhanced by taking part in the STEM project. They learn how to accept difference of opinion. They learn how to accept the different perspectives of their peers. They learn how to work in a team. So this is the reason why STEM is important. Now, what else does STEM do? It's teaching them skills, but it is also preparing students for the fast-growing careers of the world. These are a few which are listed over here. The STEM program actually opens up doors to many careers. There are so many STEM-related disciplines and professional fields that the students who are strong in maths and science skills can take part in. So there are fields like astronomy, biotechnology, biology, AI, IT, communication. These are all skills, not skills, but streams and career fields which children who have strong science and math skills can take part in, can engage in as they grow older. And each of these streams, each of these fields offer further specialization. So there is actually no limit to the careers which are offered to people who have good STEM skills. Therefore, STEM is something which is the need of the hour. Now, What do we provide with the STEM book? At SAR, when you are using our STEM books, you are getting 14 to 15 projects with testable goals, very clearly mentioned. You are getting answer keys at the back of the book, and you're getting a general material list. Plus, you are getting training and support wherever you need it. Now, teachers, here I would like to point out that the material list provided in the books is general. You are encouraged to discuss with your class and see what else can you use. And it will be really nice if, children can be encouraged to use material that is being recycled and reused, repurposed. So the list that is provided with your books is not an exhaustive list by any means. So now we know all about what STEM is, why STEM is important, what is the benefit of STEM to the students. I am going to take you through a walkthrough of a simple STEM lesson taken from your grade 2 book. And the topic of this lesson is bodies of water. So in this lesson, what will the children learn? They learn about different types of water bodies around the world. We know that the earth is made up of 75% water, out of which a large amount of it is present in oceans and lakes. Lakes are smaller than the oceans. We all know that. And lakes are bodies which are surrounded by land. Mostly lakes are freshwater bodies. Rivers and streams are also water bodies, but these are water bodies in which water can flow. A river is wide and a stream is narrow. So that is for our knowledge. But of course, when we are discussing with the children, more examples and more images can be shared with them. So once the concept has been done with the children, what next? The children get to engage with the textbook with different activities. So simple activities as per their age. These activities are age graded. Simple yes/no questions on the first page, then identifying the image and writing down the spelling by tracing the letters on the second page. Then there is another activity where they have to select the right option. It's an MCQ, so to say. So having done this, what do we do next? Then the next thing in your book is a STEM challenge, where there is a short story which will lead the children to the challenge. I'll read out the story for you. Please stay patient with me. Mr. Yoshida's class went on a field trip to see the baby birds in their nest. He told his class that last week during the heavy rains, 3 nests with babies had been spotted in the trees across from the stream. When Mr. Yoshida and his 30 students, the number is 30, keep that in mind, please, arrived, they saw that part of the bridge had washed away. Now, how would they be able to see the baby birds? Can you build a bridge to help Mr. Yoshida and his students cross the stream? So here, what has been done? A story has been told, and the story has a problem, a challenge. And the students need to find the solution to this challenge. What's the challenge here? The challenge is that the 30 students with Mr. Yoshida need to cross the stream, but the bridge is broken. That's like our outstation trips or even our day picnics that we go for. Something or the other, a new challenge crops up and we need to find solutions. So that's the case with Mr. Yoshida too. So the children need to build a bridge. The bridge has to be sturdy enough that 30 people can cross it. First of all, it needs to stand over the stream. Second, it has to let 30 people cross it. Coming to the next page, what is the objective of the STEM challenge? The objective is to design and construct a bridge that will hold 30 students over a plate of water. Now, since we are working online, I have omitted the plate of water because I would not like you to work with water in front of your systems. I am personally scared, so that is why, excuse me for that liberty. The challenge is that you have to use 3 material and be lifted off from the ground by at least 2 inches, and it should be able to hold 30 coins for 20 seconds. That's the challenge for us, right? Now, teachers, when you do STEM in your classes, you will usually be getting a block period of about an hour or maybe a little more than an hour. The reason why you need to do it in a block period is so that the children are not rushed through the story, through the activity, or through the concept. They have to have enough time to be able to process all the information that is being shared with them. So this is day 1 of your STEM class, in which you've discussed with them the concept of water bodies. You've shared with them the activities related to water bodies, those 3 pages that you just helped the children to complete. And the third step is that you've read them the story and you're discussing the objective and the challenge. So this much needs to be done within an hour. Do not rush. Give the child enough time to process information and discuss and share their doubts. Now, what is the STEM process that we are going to follow? The first process, part of the process is that we will ask the questions. So if you can use your chat to answer the questions, what does a bridge look like? What will help make a bridge strong? And does a cup full of 30 coins feel light or heavy in your hands? The 30 coins are representative of the 30 children that we are talking of in Mr. Yoshida's story. Please take a moment to write down the answers to this in the chat. Ayushi ma'am, if you could be kind enough to share the answers.
Yes, ma'am. I will do that.
Teachers, do we have some responses? Please answer. And remember, in a STEM class, there is never a right or a wrong answer. There are always new answers that can be accepted. So what does a bridge look like? What will help to make the bridge strong? And does a cup full of 30 coins feel light or heavy in your hands? Take it from the perspective of the little ones who are in your class. Will the 30 coins in a cup feel light or heavy? The next step of the process, Ayushi ma'am, are there any responses?
Ma'am, yes, heavy. It will be very heavy.
Right, for the little ones, it will be heavy. So thank you so much for responding, teachers. Thank you. Now, the next step of the STEM process is that you have to look at all the material that you have. So here today, what do we have? We have scissors, we have tape. We could have a choice between some ice cream sticks or straws and a small paper cup and 30 coins, right? So that's the material that you have. In the plan box on the next page, draw a picture of the bridge you will build with the materials. This is what you are going to ask your children to do. Now, the third step of the STEM process is that children be given enough time to create. And then the fourth one is testing. So teachers, do not worry. We are not going to do this in the first hour of the STEM class. In the subsequent week, when you meet the children for the block period, that is when you will actually recap with them what they learned about water bodies very quickly. You can recap with them Mr. Yoshida's story and the objective and challenge, and that is where the STEM process will begin. So now, this is what the children will start working on when they meet you for the second hour of the STEM period. They will draw a plan of how they want to build the bridge. Then they will create the bridge actually. And then after they have created maybe 30 minutes, 35 minutes, after that, they will test and put a tick for a yes or no, whether it worked or it didn't. So now that we know how to conduct a STEM class, teachers, you will be the students, and it is time for you now for some activity. So the challenge is all yours. You have to design a bridge that can withstand the weight of 30 coins placed in a cup for at least 20 seconds. We can take 5 to 6 minutes to complete this activity. Make your bridge, and remember, STEM is about 4 C's. The fourth C was collaboration. So if your family members are around, you can ask them to collaborate with you and have fun and complete the project. And at the end of 5 minutes, you can share what you have created by switching on your camera on the screen, right? 5 minutes from now then. Thank you. Are there any questions that you would like to ask? If there are any questions, teachers, you
Ma'am,
can put the
can you please repeat it once again?
challenge for us today is that we need to design a bridge which can withstand the weight of 30 coins placed in a cup for 20 seconds. So you have the material, the ice cream sticks or the straws, you have the sellotape and the scissors. You need to design a bridge which will hold the coins in a cup on it for 20 seconds at least. That's the challenge for you. And you get, since we are adults, we work faster. So 5 minutes to create your bridge. I hope that is clear. And it is a collaborative activity for the children, so it's collaborative for you too. You can ask your family members to join in and help you to create the bridge quickly. And then you can switch on your cameras and share it with us.
Dear teachers, whatever you're creating, please switch on your cameras so that it's visible and ma'am can guide you. If you have any queries and concerns, please switch on your cameras throughout your creation.
Yeah, that will be a nice way to interact. At least we can see how you are working then. There seems to be, somebody seems to have started a whiteboard. Can you please close that? Thank you. I can see Miss Deepika working with her ice cream sticks, and she already seems to be ready with the bridge.
Miss Shalini, there's a question that should they use 1 cup only?
Yeah, 1 cup to put all the 30 coins in. 1 small paper cup, and you can put the 30 coins in together there.
Another question is that should we have a plain surface?
Yes, the bridge should be on a plain surface so that it is stable and it can stay sturdy for some time.
Can we see the teachers working on the modules? We can see Kamla making something beautiful. We can see Deepika here. That's nice.
Right. Very nice, teachers. Get
We
all
can
your
see
creative
Nandita
juices
also.
flowing.
Sandhya. Oh, she's already made it. Wow.
Wonderful. Now it's time for the ones who have created the bridge. It's time for you to test whether your bridge is going to stand straight and stand straight more so with the cup and 30 coins in it, at least for 20 seconds. The cup is to hold the coins in. So you will place your 30 coins inside that cup, and the sticks, the ice cream sticks or the straw are actually the material with which you are going to be creating the bridge.
I think if the teachers are done, they can unmute themselves if they want to. If there is their hand, we can unmute you. I see Ashwini making a lovely bridge. And Shreya. And all of them look different.
Yes, that's the beauty of it, Shefali ma'am. Everyone's working in their own space and unique designs are coming up. And we can just imagine the amount of creativity that will happen in the class when the children are doing this, because they have their own ideas. So it's going to be an amazing activity for them.
So Dipali is ready. Ayushi, can we unmute Dipali Socrates? She's ready to present. So at least we can have at least 2-3 presentations from the teachers. Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Shalini ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah, are you able to see this?
Yes, we can see your bridge.
Yeah, okay.
So, and that cup, does it have 30 coins?
Yes, ma'am. The
It
coins
looks
are
like
in
a
it.
very stable structure, your bridge.
Yeah,
Very
and very simple. Not able to
and
hear,
very
ma'am.
simple, yes. I was saying thank you
That's
for sharing
amazing,
that.
Dipali.
Yeah, it's a very nice design.
Thank you so much.
We can all clap for her. A silent clap, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Who's
Thank
next?
you, everyone.
Anybody else wants to go?
Anyone else who's ready can raise their hand virtually and then present. One more presentation at least before we move ahead.
Anyone ready to present?
Sorry, I'm still not sure about that.
You can also click pictures and put it in the chat maybe if that is more convenient for you now. All right, I think we are going to be late in finishing the session. So Shefali ma'am, shall I continue then?
Ma'am, I think Deepika ma'am raised her hand and I've unmuted her.
Okay.
So if she want to share, we can proceed with that.
Right.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Ma'am, the bridge is ready. I have put 30 coins.
That's wonderful. I am not able to see your. Is your camera on? Shefali ma'am, are you able to
I'm
see
trying to
Deepika
refer
ma'am's
because
screen?
no.
Yes, ma'am, from my side, it's on only.
Okay. Can we highlight Deepika ma'am maybe for a while?
Yeah,
Okay,
we can
now I
pin
can
her,
see
but
her.
only then we can
Oh,
see her. So if you
right.
can see her, Deepika, yeah,
Yes,
let me pin
right.
her. Give me a
Yeah.
moment. Yeah, here you go. Ma'am, you can explain what you made and what you felt during the whole process.
Ma'am, it was really a fun doing this simple activity, like with coins only and using simple material like ice cream sticks or maybe straws we can use. But it is really interesting. Like if we think from point of view of children, they will really enjoy doing this activity and they will learn a lot.
Right.
And can you also name the things that you have used actually? I see very different colorful things that you've used to
Yes, ma'am.
create this bridge.
Yeah, I did have 3 paper cups, so I just use one puzzle and one this I think it's color box empty one, and one paper cup, and 4 ice cream sticks I have used, and
Okay.
30 coins.
And 30
Amazing.
coins. Wonderful. That is such a nice design that you have created. Simple and strong.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
great. Can we all applaud for Deepika ma'am's effort and for the effort of each one of you actually, because you all, I'm sure, are creating beautiful designs. So thank you so much, teachers, for this
Miss
enthusiasm.
Shalini, there's something very interesting that I can see on Miss Kanchan's screen. So it fascinated me. So that's why I've shared and put her on spotlight. We
Oh,
can discuss about the same.
yes, that will be nice. Kanchan ma'am, please go ahead. Miss Kanchan Vats, can you please unmute yourself and explain how you have designed your bridge?
Kanchan ma'am, can you speak about it?
All right, it looks nice. I think you can
Yeah.
move forward, ma'am.
Right. It actually looks like that. Students walking in two straight lines. So it looks really pretty. Very nice. Is it visible? Is the screen visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Shefaj
Yes.
ma'am? Yes? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Okay, so moving ahead, let's find out the use of terminologies that we have used in the unit of bridges from grade 2. You can use the chat box to answer, and we can go through the answers as and when they come. Put all the 4 answers in one message. Teachers, so what technology did you use? What aspect of science did you apply? What is the appropriate math skill that we need to solve the problem? And for what purpose did you engineer this ramp or this bridge? What was the purpose? So what is the S, T, E, and M that you have used for creating the bridges in one message? If you could just very quickly put it in the chat.
Ma'am, your slide is not clear actually.
It has not loaded, you mean to say?
It's a little blur.
Is it better now?
All
No.
right, a little better.
Little better. Should I just resume the sharing? Better now?
Yes, it's better.
Yeah. So what is the technology that you have used? What aspect of science have you applied? What are the math skills that you have used to solve this problem of Mr. Yoshida? And what is the engineering that you have? What was the purpose of the engineering of this particular bridge? Teachers, if you could very quickly in 30 seconds write down the answers and put it in the chat. And Ayushi ma'am, if you could just share the answers as they come in, maybe a couple of answers at least.
Balancing, counting, timing.
Wonderful. Yes, it's all about balancing, counting, and timing. So
Balancing.
that's very nice. Thank you. Right. I think balancing and the amount of weight that the bridge could hold, the strength that the bridge required is the core concept over here, the core activity that we needed to catch up on. Now, what were the steps for implementation in grade K1 and 2? All the steps that you have followed, I'm just reiterating them on this slide. The first was reading the science text and the science in the class. The third step is reading of the STEM story and discussing it, reading and explaining the objectives, and display of the materials.
Ma'am, your
Till the
slides
display
are
of
not, we can't read your slides. If you can stop share and then maybe try it again.
Sure. Just allow me a second.
Yes.
Is it clear now? Are you able to see this?
No, it's not clear.
No?
No, ma'am. Actually, I think
And now
this
it's better. Yeah. Yeah, it
I
was.
just stopped. 1 second, I'll share once more. Please tell me now if it is better.
Ma'am, yet it's a blur, not that clear.
Not that great. Okay, must be a variation in the network possibly. So I'll
Yes.
just read out what I have put on the slide. It's basically a reiteration of all the steps that we have used for implementation, which we just did in the walkthrough. So first we read the science text and the science story. Then the written activities were conducted for practice by children. The third step was reading of the STEM story. The fourth step was reading and explaining the objective of the challenge and display of the material. These 5 things teachers can complete maybe in the first block period, and then the next one will be determining the size of the group. So for an effective STEM project, teachers, it is best not to have a very big group because collaboration is affected, and neither you should have a very small group. An ideal group size would be 4 to 5 students per group so that there is effective collaboration and discussion between the children. Do foster a creative environment, allow the children time and space to show their creative skills, provide them support for the STEM journals, which they will complete at the end of the activity. And at all times in your STEM classes, support discussion and discourse teachers. There is, remember, as I said earlier, there is no right or wrong in a STEM process. It's all about the process that we are following. And children pick up on the skills as and when they go ahead. Now, the entire STEM design process has a cycle that is followed. The first step being identifying the problem. What is the problem that we are addressing in that project is the first step. The next step is brainstorming, where the entire group of 4 or 5 students will sit together and brainstorm how they want to answer that challenge. The third step is design, where they actually do it hands-on and create the design. And then it is build and test, where a testing of the design that they have decided on and built is done. And the last step being is the share solution. Whatever has been done in the entire process, that learning and the process and the challenges, if they faced any, is shared in the class. And then the cycle goes on in case there is a need to redo, which we do in senior classes, not for the junior ones, but yes, that's the process. Now, what are the benefits of teaching STEM, you may ask? So the first benefit is that it develops a solid foundation for the children. It encourages children to solve real life problems. Because there is so much collaboration, there is so much hands-on activity, there is so much thinking that is being done, it builds a lot of self-confidence in the learners. And children work in teams, they collaborate, so they understand the true value of teamwork. It sparks an interest in the STEM related subjects, and children are able to build on their science and math skills by engaging in STEM processes again and again. It has also been found by studies that STEM processes, engaging in them, is beneficial for students with ADHD. So while you have a STEM process class going on, you can make it an integrated class. Have the special children with you and let them also show their creativity. They can also come up with wonderful solutions, unique ones. It also, teaching STEM also teaches a lot of skills like computational thinking, decision making, observation skills, logical reasoning skills, creative thinking skills, problem solving skills. So there is actually a lot that is happening when we engage the children in STEM processes. So the benefits are actually too many to even put down over here. This is not an exhaustive list, I would say. So teachers, you've been such a patient and such an engaged audience. I really want to thank you once again for being active and involved in this. We can open the session now for question and answers round. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. If there are any questions, you can raise your virtual hands or you can put your questions in the chat.
Chat is open. You can raise your concerns and write your queries in the chat box. Ma'am, there's a question. Is STEM teaching beneficial for preschool also?
Definitely. STEM teaching is beneficial for all age groups. You know why? Because as educators and as educators and teachers, we all are aware that the maximum brain development happens before the age of 8. The best time for optimum brain development is between 2 to 8 years of age. So if younger children are involved in STEM teaching, that helps them to develop the skills and the liking for a particular subject very easily. And what is STEM? STEM is basically activities, if a preschooler observes that water fallen on the ground evaporates, he's actually observing a science phenomena. If he observes the clouds move in, ask a question. But in STEM, building with blocks, which is such a common activity that all young babies do, that's a technology and engineering activity. So it's all about STEM, and STEM is beneficial for all age groups.
Ma'am, there's one more question. Aruna ma'am has asked that learners are able to understand the STEM project, but they find it difficult to plan their models.
Initially, yes, that can happen, that, students may find a little difficulty in planning for the project, but that's the role of the facilitator. Nudge them in gently in the right direction, and they'll be very, very quick to pick up, because children are very quick learners. So just give them a little guidance, discuss things with them, do a brainstorming session with the children as part of their team, and I'm sure they'll be able to gradually pick up on the skills.
So the whole idea is facilitate and don't lead.
Absolutely.
Any more questions?
Ma'am, one more question, that what type of follow-up worksheet should be given post the STEM projects?
Shefali ma'am, would you like to answer that one, please?
In the STEM books, the worksheets are already given there for the pre-knowledge test. The worksheets are already in the STEM books. However, if you want to create something on your own, you're free to do that. Any other question?
No, ma'am.
In that case, can we have some experiences from the teachers? Experiences how you felt when you were making that project, or maybe all the STEM process you just understood just now. If you can elaborate that with us, anyone. So there's a question that do science and maths lessons overlap? I just read that question. Shalini ma'am, for you.
Yes, actually it will. As the children go to higher classes, you'll actually see that science and math overlap quite a lot. Because, when they start analyzing data, when they start creating plots and graphs and tables to put in the data of their experiments, that's an overlap. So science and math actually go hand in hand.
Ma'am, one more question, that do we have to take the STEM projects individually, or can we manage it alongside with the other syllabus?
STEM should actually be an integration. So here we do STEM is an integration of 4 disciplines, but if we can integrate our STEM projects with other subjects and other topics that are going on in the class, that's even better. Isn't it, Shefali ma'am? I hope you would agree with me. We can integrate with the other subjects. So maybe here, if,
when we talk about from STEM, it goes to STEAM and STREAM.
Yeah.
So that's how we're integrating the other things there too. So if anybody wants to talk about that, please, Shalini ma'am, if you want to add something to that.
So as Shefali ma'am has just said, the next level is STEAM, where we get the A. The A is for the art. And then the next one, which is more recent, is STREAM. The R is for reading and writing. So it's an all and out integration of different subjects, you see. And even in this particular activity, we've got the bridge. Maybe if an English teacher was around, we could have asked the children to create a short couplet related to the bridge. Who went on the bridge, kind of a thing. Maybe you can give a caption for the bridge. You can advertise. There are so many activities, it's actually limitless. You just have to find time and enthusiasm and get it done in a happy manner, and children enjoy all fun activities and they learn while they are enjoying.
And there's one more question. How can we apply STEM with our syllabus?
So let's say you are doing a topic in your science related to water, which is a very common topic in EVS. When we are talking about the earth, we are talking about earth being made up of 75% water. That is where you can say that there are different types of bridges, and being in the NCR, even anywhere else, there are bridges that the children observe. So show them pictures of bridges, read them the story of Mr. Yoshida and his class, and get them to do the project. So it can go hand in hand with your topics, whatever you are learning. Any other questions?
So we also have a question. How can we relate STEM with Hindi as a subject?
Okay. So if we can relate STEM with English, reading and writing, we can relate it with Hindi and with any other language, isn't it? It's all about,
yes.
You can, yeah, why not?
If you're writing a couplet in English, you can do a poem in Hindi.
Yes.
Yeah.
बिल्कुल, and you can in fact हिंदी में तो पर्यायवाची शब्द and अनेक शब्दों के लिए एक शब्द, कितनी सारी चीजें जिसमें हम एक्टिविटीज को इन्वॉल्व कर सकते हैं. So why not? Are there any other questions, teachers? Any doubts, any feedback that you would like to share, anything?
So I think everybody can put their answers in the chat box about the session, about the complete session that you attended. One word for the session. It should be just one word and not a sentence.
Okay.
Informative, creative, wonderful, engaging, fruitful.
Thank you. That is so nice.
So amazing, informative again. So we have almost the same kind of a response from everyone. Thank you so much. Tomorrow we have another session for STEM. It's going to be as engaging as today. And please try to attend the session, because tomorrow we'll be covering the grades 3 to 5 actually.
Yes.
And you have a different set of materials given to you. Please have that ready for the tomorrow's session. And I think we can move to the quiz now. Yes, some of them asked about the certificates. You'll get the certificate when you have attended the quiz. So it's a 5-minute quiz actually. So over to Miss Akita, over to Miss Ayushi first, and then we can proceed and hand over to Akita.
So next to the quiz, we will be putting it in the chat box. You have to attend the questionnaire and you have to complete your quiz. Miss Akita will take you through the steps of attending the same. So Miss Akita.
Good evening, everyone. I'm sending the link for the quiz on the chat. Kindly click on any one. Both the links are going to lead you to the same quiz. Please make sure to enter your email ID, because we needed to send you your certificates. And also, please remember to finish the quiz and then leave the meeting. Because you've completed the quiz, only then you will be receiving the certificate within 7 to 10 business days. I've sent the link on chat. So you can click on any one of the links and you'll be led to the quiz.
Ms. Shalini, thank you so much for this warm session. You may exit from the meeting and we'll see you tomorrow at the same time. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Ms. Ayushi, Ms. Shefali, and Ms. Akita. Thank you. And thank you to all the teachers once again for being such a patient and an engaged audience. So I'll take your leave now. Thanks.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. See you tomorrow.
See you.
Kindly attempt the quiz and then you can leave the meeting as well.